Good evening. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, man. When I first got to Kigali, actually, this was the first place I ever performed, and I was so happy that I could perform here. Back then, I used to write bitter poems about my ex, and Kadesh doesn't believe me, but I don't do that no more. I've healed. I've grown. Yeah, progress. These days, I write about like trust and like friendship and like everything else in between. So, the first poem I want to share with you is a poem that I wrote on the back of a moto. If I can get to my password, that is. The poem I wrote on the back of a moto. I wrote this poem on the back of a moto. There I was, fully fixated on my phone on the back of a moto, weaving in and out of traffic, almost being hit and dying. Yes, dying. I can be a little dramatic. Before I caught myself wondering how I could trust a man I just met like literally 2 minutes ago with like literally my life. When usually, like literally, it takes me like longer than 2 months to trust people with my heart and fall in love, and just as long or even longer to make friends or to trust them. And I know that was like a lot of likes, but I dislike always wondering what people's motives are and why they do what they do. And so I decided to put my phone in my pocket and hold on to this bike for dear life. And then it dawned on me that fear is no driving force for bikes or life or the will to live. And so I told myself that I would trust him, this man that I just met like literally 2 minutes ago, that I would trust him and the many other people that I meet, because good people exist, and you know this because once in a while you are them. And so I proceeded to write this poem about trust and friendship and safety, and how in Rwanda, unlike most African countries, you can pull out your phone and write a poem on the back of a bike and not worry too much about it being stolen. Because there's way too many guns in this city. And prison time is long, but mainly because good people still exist. And you know this because once in a while, you are them. And so I wrote this poem in the hope that maybe at the end of this ride, the motor driver and I would be friends, and he would wonder why I questioned his trustworthiness in the first place. And that maybe one listener of this poem, Kiran, sat in the back, wouldn't have to remind me that maybe I am wrong, that bad people do exist, and that I shouldn't be so liberal with my trust. And you and I know this because once in a while, we are bad people too. And so I kept writing that maybe I wouldn't have to tell him that he is wrong or that he isn't wrong, and that maybe he's just missing the point. That just because people hurt us doesn't mean that we shouldn't live like everyone will. And that some Smiths might slap us once in a while for a bad joke, because life can be funny like that. But that doesn't negate the fact that God has a sense of humor. And as rumor has it, you are one of his favorites, but you mustn't put him to the test. And so I put my phone back in my pocket and held on to this bike. This time, not for dear life or a lack of trust, but out of respect for all the good that God brings my way, and my general respect for speed and when skin touches tar. Because like this motor ride, life is very much about balance, support, and trust. Thank you. The next poem is less of a conversation, but more like ramblings. If it ends up being like a bitter love poem, that's not my fault. This poem is called Fall. Fall. Fall in love. Fall out of love. Dance. Don't fall when you dance. Tell someone you love them or maybe not. Dream. Daydream. Live in the moment. Calculate your next move. You are a king on the board. Wake up from your slumber. Move from pawn to queen. Sleep. Snore. Snore loudly. Okay, maybe not too loudly. Shake. Shake. Break, twirl, pretend it's a dance. Dance in the rain and in the shower. Listen to the sound of the rain. It is music to your ears. Fall. Did I mention fall? Fall in love. Experience your first and third heartbreak. Pick up the pieces again. Try again. Your heart is stronger than you think. Pretend. Good Lord, pretend, because I guarantee you everyone else in this room is pretending. No one fully knows what they're doing or who they truly are, but they are here confidently walking about. Fall in love with the process. Tell it to trust you this time, because trusting it can be a little bit tiring. Pray. Good Lord, pray. Sound your echoes through the walls of the living. These bodies will vibrate your energy. You can raise dry bones. Laugh. Good Lord, laugh. Heartily, wholeheartedly. Laughter is the muscle pumping blood and life through your soul. And pain, well, pain, you must feel the pain. Pain is a part of life. Guaranteed, like taxes and death and pain and Arsenal losing the league. Pain. I'm an Arsenal fan, by the way. So I feel your pain. So when you can, laugh and cry and then laugh again, because you will need those moments of laughter to live through the pain. If you can, find a therapist too. There is baggage yet to be unpacked. Unpack. My friends, unpack. Unpack your fears and pain and hurt and resentment. If you can, pack and go, leave, fly, collect your miles like Claire. The sky is your home. Fall. Skydive. Okay, maybe not that kind of falling. Fall. Did I mention fall? Fall in love again and again and again with your life, with where you are, with who you are, with what you have and that which you do not. Fall in love with who is beside you, who was before and the lover yet to come. Fall in love with friend or foe. Each resides in the great chasm of what it means to be you. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. Fall.